I'm glad
Good
to be
morning,
back.
I'm Petula Alicia. Welcome to Morning Coffee and Inspirational Words.
I am glad
This
to be
morning,
back.
I will be this morning I will be picking up where we left off the last time. It's a continuation of the video series 3 Obstacles to Success, Part 3. So, what are some of the beliefs that we have, personal self beliefs that we have, that keeps us from creating success in our lives? In the video series so far, I have touched on two of those points, which is feeling worthless, feeling hopeless, and now the third point is feeling helpless. A lot of the times we overlook certain things that, or feelings, negative feelings and thoughts that we have about ourselves, and we don't realize how much it impacts our personal success. And when I say personal success, I mean financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and as far as your family relationship goes, your health, your fitness, your wellness overall. So when I talk about success, it's not necessarily monetary. Some people think success is about having a good family life, having great friends, and great social relationships. So when I talk about personal success, don't think I'm referring to money. It's whatever you deem as success for you. What do you do? How do you overcome feeling helpless? How do you solve this? What do you do? How do you move past that feeling of helplessness? Well, I hope that I can do it some justice today and share with you some of the tips and techniques I use when I felt like I had no control over my life at all, and still use when I get myself in situations where I feel helpless. The first thing I do is what? I step back from the situation. I remove myself emotionally from the situation. I do that so that I can have clarity of mind. So I even go a step further. I pretend that it's one of my family members or one of my friends, but it's somebody who I love very much. And I pretend that it's them who's going through that situation. And yes, there's a level of emotional connection there. However, the intensity of the emotional connection is not as intense as if it's me going through it. So the first thing I do, I step back and remove myself emotionally so that I can ask the question, if that's your family member, somebody that you love, family or friend, having that same exact experience, what would your advice be to them? And a lot of the times I can give really great advice because, we can always see solution to other people's problems when we are on the outside looking in. But when it's happening to us, we don't always have that mental clarity because we are too emotionally involved and we can't remove emotional self to find positive solutions to the problem. So that's the first thing I do. I step back and remove myself emotionally and then pretend that it's somebody that I love very much and that I'm advising them. And then I'm able to give great advice in the situation because I've removed the emotional aspect. So that brings me to number 2. Look at your dad, or when you do that, it also allows you to look at that situation with honesty. You want to be honest with yourself. You want to ask yourself some tough questions at that time. Whether it's a project you're working on, whether it's losing weight, you want to ask yourself, why am I self-sabotaging? Why am I not achieving the kind of health and fitness that I want? What am I doing wrong? And be willing to answer the question and be honest with yourself when you answer the question. So that is number 2. So talking about answering the question, number 3, it's what I've also mentioned in the first video and the second video, which is you have to be positive. You can't approach this from a negative standpoint or a negative point of view. You have to be positive, because when you're positive, then you can find solutions. And when you're positive, you're more apt to be happy. And happy people tend to solve problems, in my opinion. Don't quote me. So that brings me to number 4. Point number 4. Ask for help. If you're really feeling helpless and stuck, pick up the phone, call a good friend, call a family member, call a mentor or a coach, whomever. Reach out and call somebody, and maybe they can give you some really great advice to help you get unstuck, and you wouldn't feel so helpless that it depresses you. So that's number 4. Number 5, if you are a lot like me and you like to be what I like to call it, if you like to be solve your own problems, or you do a lot of self analysis and psychology and stuff like that, Google it. Use Yahoo, use Bing. The internet is, just keystrokes. If you don't know something, there's so much information out there. Go on an information quest. There are books. They're just keystrokes away. If you don't know something and you are really stuck, whether it's a financial issue, whether it's a relationship issue, whether you're working on a project and you don't know how to quite complete it, or you're stalled on ideas, it's just a mouse click away. And don't tell me that you don't have internet or a computer or an iPad or an iPhone. You have a local library. So these are all little things that you can do to get yourself out of feeling helpless or in a rut. Other little tips, like you can exercise. Just go outside for a little walk, because just walking, and especially if the sun is out, and getting that vitamin D, that's going to help you feel happy. And like I say, happy people solve problems. So those are my tips for you today on how to not feel helpless, or how to stop feeling helpless. And I hope that this has been helpful, and that you have found value in what I've shared with you today. In the description box below, do check out the blog articles that I have included. There are more resources that you can read that will give you more tips, solution, and advice on how to overcome feeling helpless, because feeling helpless is a real issue. It's not fictional, and we all experience it from time to time. We just feel stuck. Remember to be your awesome selves and go out and do incredible things today. Thank you for joining me for Morning Coffee and Inspirational Words. I'm Petula Alicia. See you guys soon. Bye.